On the bottom of page 144, there are a couple of tables, and those tables accompany these graphs. So we're going to do some calculations involving the x values on this table. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 10, and same over here, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. We're going to do something with those x values down in these tables. Here are those x values. And we're also going to do something with the y values here. And the y values are 2, 4, 6, and 6, and 7. And then these y values are 1, 3, 6, 7, and 8. Those y values and these y values. We're going to do a calculation with those, and we're going to put that calculation here. All right. So what we're going to calculate is something called the mean. And the word mean means the same thing as the word average. So if you're ever asked to find the average of a set of numbers, that means exactly the same thing as finding the mean of a set of numbers. So here are the 4 things that we're going to find the mean of, or the average. We're going to come down here into the tables, and you're going to calculate the mean of this group of numbers and this group of numbers and this group of numbers and this group of numbers. So that's the first step. So the way you calculate the mean is you first add the numbers up. Okay? So add these numbers, add these numbers, add these numbers, add these numbers. So I'll do this one as an example. So 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 5 is 9, 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 plus 10 is 25. So the total of the numbers circled in blue is 25. But now that's just the sum of the numbers. What we want is the mean. So now we have to divide that sum by how many numbers there were. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. So we're doing 25 divided by 5, which is 5. So up here in this box, the mean values of x for this table was 5. And now you're going to come down and do that same kind of calculation for the pink set, the green set, and the yellow set. So first, you're going to sum or total the numbers. So find out the sum of the numbers, and that's by adding. And then you're going to find the mean by taking that sum and dividing the sum by 5, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers in the set. So do that for the pink, the green, and the yellow numbers, and then put your answers here. Pink, green, yellow. The next step after that is going to be to do some subtraction. So before we subtract, there's a little bit of notation that you need to know. So if you look at this number, at this symbol right here, that just means the mean of these numbers. So when you calculated the mean of this column of x values, that's what this symbol means. This means the mean of that set of x values. So what you're going to do in this column is you're going to take your x value that's here, and then you're going to subtract the mean that we found. So for example, in this row, we're taking 1 minus 5, which is -4, and writing that -4 in there. Then next, it's always going to be -5. So here, you're going to do 3 minus 5, because it's the x value minus the mean, and then you'll put the answer, or the sum, or the difference here, really, you'll put the difference of 3 minus 5 right here. Same here, 5 minus 5. And you'll put the difference of 5 minus 5 here, 6 minus 5 here, 10 minus 5 here. Then you're going to do the same for this column. 4 minus whatever the mean was that you calculated, 6 minus, 6 minus, 7 minus. Same thing as before. Same with this column. 3 minus the mean you found, 5 minus the mean. Same with this column. Just subtract 5 from all of these numbers. All right, or I should say subtract the mean that you found from all of those numbers. Then the next step you're going to do is you're going to do some multiplication. So over in this column, what you're doing is you're multiplying this column's number times this column's number. So for example, in here, it's -4, and here is -3. -4 times -3 equals 12. This number times this number equals this number. And then the same over here. Multiply, product. Multiply these two numbers, product. Multiply these two numbers, product. And then what you're going to do after that, as the very last step, is you're going to add up these numbers. So on your very last step, you'll add these numbers and put the sum in this box. Same with these. You'll add these numbers and you'll put the sum in this box. Then you'll notice something. You'll notice something about this number and this number. And what you're asked to do is think about what this number and this number have different about them. And then also look at these graphs and see what these graphs have different about them. Doot, doot, right? There's a little hint. Doot, doot. And write in this box what you notice about this number and this graph, and about this number and this graph. So write a little bit down here. You can use the sentence starter if you want. A negative sum corresponds to what feature of this graph? A positive sum corresponds to what feature of the graph? And that, my friend, is the end of this assignment. Happy mathing!